Well, the International Criminal Court is launching an investigation into Russia over their bloody invasion into Ukraine. And our next guest is calling for Russian President Vladimir Putin to be tried as a war criminal. Joining us now is decorated Army veteran, member on the House Foreign Affairs Committee, Florida Congressman Brian Mast. Congressman, welcome back to the show. It's good to see you. Walk us through how this would actually work and what are the odds of it happening?
Look, I think every day that this goes forward, the odds of a united Western Europe, a united Western nations coming together and saying everything will be held account, the buck will stop with Vladimir Putin, and to go on and say, how was this conducted and what really needs to happen moving forward? Number one, there has been the threat by Vladimir Putin elevating his nuclear posture. That is a nuclear saber rattling. The world should be saying there will be no Russian energy used until there is a Russian nuclear demilitarization after Vladimir Putin is removed. That has to be part of the way that this ends. In the end, the world has to say there will be no use of Russian energy until after there is no Vladimir Putin, a Russian nuclear demilitarization, and a demilitarized zone along every Russian border. These need to be things that happen as a result of this, and the world needs to come together and say that.
Yeah, definitely. You're on the Foreign Affairs Committee, and the CHOP Republican there, Congressman Mike McCall of Texas, is warning that Biden is relying on Russia to broker this Iran nuclear deal that he wants to get back into. And this comes as reports came out last week that he was giving intelligence to China. I mean, the big question comes down to how concerning is it that Biden has to rely on our adversaries amid this whole crisis?
Now, let's look at that. Number one, the crisis that was created by Biden dominoes being toppled from the first one being the inauguration of Joe Biden. That was the first domino. And then there was the day one policies of eliminating American forms of energy, the largest energy project, the XL pipeline. Then there's the withdrawal of Afghanistan and all of the devastating impacts of that. And the list goes on. These are all Biden dominoes. And you look at this and you say, from the very beginning, they had been working to redo the Iran nuclear agreement, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. They've been looking to review America's nuclear posture to weaken the United States of America. And now we see Russia waving their nuclear card as a tool, really training Vladimir Putin to understand that if he waves his nuclear card, he can basically ward off the world from doing anything to him. Hey, Sweden wants to become a NATO member. No, I'd consider that an act of war. Ukraine wants to become a NATO member, a NATO plus. No, I'd consider that an act of war. Anybody gives arms to Ukraine to defend themselves from this onslaught. No, I'd consider that an act of war. And he's made this a game of brinksmanship because of Biden's weakness and because of these Biden dominoes.
The president has made it clear that we're not sending troops into Ukraine to combat with Russia. Many people are saying he actually showed his cards too soon on that. Do you agree?
I would agree with that. Nobody should underestimate the fact that there is brinksmanship going on here, nuclear brinksmanship, because of that card that Putin played. But what Putin did leading up to this was, I equate this like the Super Bowl. He lined up on the 3-yard line and looked to see how is the defense lining up. Do they say, listen, no fly zone, maybe you guys are going to go at it, but it's going to be, we're going to put our finger on the scale and it's going to be, an equal fight. That didn't happen. He was lined up on the 3-yard line and he looked, and the world didn't say, hey, listen, we're going to cut off all foreign or all energy coming out of Russia. Nobody's going to use it. The Turk Stream pipeline, the Nord Stream pipeline, anybody. No, U.S. isn't going to take Russian energy. Those things didn't happen. And because of that, Putin was able to look at this and say, well, listen, the world's not going to respond in this way. Let me continue with the plays that I was calling.
Congressman Brian Mast, appreciate your insight this evening, and thank you for your service to this country.
Thank you.